Got our Minesweeper. So let's head back to our homework and what we did. The next thing up would be the flagging of a cell.
Quick question.
Yes.
Does it matter if we actually click the little arrow, the check marks on us?
Yes.
Or is that just like, does that matter for you?
No.
Like, do you not even check? Like, I'm just thinking of a teacher and me going, oh, yeah, he did all those. And then you just.
What it
check.
does for me, it gives me an idea of what to look for.
Okay.
So, like, if you have, like, nothing checked, I have to go in and scour your whole code. But if you have, like, adventure mode and explorer mode check and stuff like that, yeah, I'm caught up. Yeah, so if you have explorer mode and adventure mode checked, I know that you did more than you had to. So I know what to look for. So it's another reflection for me of what you did. Like your code's there, so I can just look at your code. But it establishes context going into it.
I barely get explore mode.
You don't have to, but it's nice. And it's nice for you as a student because I can go, I did this, I did this, I did this. Because that feels good, at least for me. Cross it off. So, here we are. So, those don't check for me. So, right clicking. Did anyone get the right click functionality working? How do we do that?
You gotta make another event inside your buttons or inside your TDs.
Okay, this T is getting pretty big, so let's make this event, then let's refactor it a little bit. All right, so what event? On context menu. On context menu.
Which makes no sense to me. Well, I guess it kind of. I don't know why it can't just be on right click.
Because it's no longer just right click.
It's always right click.
So you say that.
I spent hours looking for right click and then right click.
Yeah.
Do that,
But really, now it's drop and hold.
Yeah.
Or if you're left-handed, it's now left click. Because you can switch the context menus on. It's like 10%. Is anyone left-handed? I think you have a few left-handed peers here. So, but yeah, that's an example of like designing, like keeping words abstract and generic. It's like, hey, it's just the context menu. Yes, 99% of the time it's right click, but not for everybody. And that's also, side note, that's also a good way to help like stretch out your fingers. Is to prevent mouse hand, is to put your mouse in your other hand. And then you can switch the buttons as well. So that your primary click is still your pointer finger and your secondary click is still the outside button. Yep.
Exactly what makes left-handed people smarter.
Exactly.
Is that there too? Does anyone have souls?
You're obsessed with the souls thing. So we want to do this. So same as above here. So same as above here, we need to say, hey, whenever the on context menu event happens, we want to pass in which position we're on, and we want to flag it this time. So how do we do that? Same way, right? This dot flag handle flag cell. And what do we want to pass it?
I and J.
I and J.
We'll get to that, Chris. I know you're jumping into it. We'll say
What am I missing?
the E.
No, you're not missing anything. Well, you are, but
I think we should
it's
wait.
for the UI.
For the UI.
Well, okay, so context menu is when you right click, a big pop-up box comes up. It's annoying.
It
so
is.
you can get rid of that.
Okay, so we're going to put a pin in that.
Okay.
And then you're going to show us how to fix that in 2 minutes.
Cool.
I want to make sure that this works, that I'm capturing the right I and J, and then we'll worry about that. So handle flagged cell, row and column, console.log, flagged row column, and then the whole API call. So let's see if this works. So I come here and I click it. Uh-oh.
This 3.
Yeah, I saw that 3.
There we go. So it works. I'm flagging 0 column row 4, right? But I don't like this. This is the default behavior for that event. So what's happening is that this event is bubbling up to the browser, and the browser's going, oh, you right-clicked, you brought up the context menu. I'm going to show you the menu. We want to stop that bubbling up, right?
So you stop propagation.
Yep. So remember how last week we were dealing with forms a little bit? And traditionally a form will resubmit the entire page and it'll refresh the whole page. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we got around it by passing in the event and saying e.prevent default. The exact same thing here. So here we have to take the event and say, hey, stop. We're going to handle the event. So now over here, where does the event come into play?
Context menu. The on context menu, man.
It's right here, right? So remember, this is an anonymous function, and every event takes. So you want to say, hey, take this event and pass it down into my function. So saying, hey, the current event down here, my anonymous function, pass it into my handle flag cell. And then up here, my handle flag cell, do event.prevent defaults. I come over here.
Probably just not saved.
Yep. It's on my last version. Whenever something happens and I'm going back and forth really fast, I always make sure that I'm on the latest version. Just refresh the page. Sometimes the building can't keep up. So yeah, here we go. So I'm flagging cells now.
Where's your app?
What?
The app. It's supposed to be
You didn't fetch it.
I haven't done the fetch yet. This is just to make sure, like, locally, I'm capturing what I want to do. It's happening as I want it to happen. So yeah, let's actually do the fetch now.
So you passing the event of the on context menu and not the event of the row 9. I guess I'm not quite sure. How do I decide what event I should be passing to where? Who? You understand what I'm saying?
So how do we know to pass the event there?
Yeah, I guess so.
So we wanted to do something on that event. We wanted to stop it, right? We wanted to prevent default. So that event, we only care about it because that part of that menu only shows when we right click, whenever we open the context. So here, that's why we want to call it on the on context menu. We're saying, hey, this event, we want to do something with it. So since we want to do something with it, we need to define it whenever we click it, whenever we actually do the context menu open. And we go, hey, we're going to flag it. We're going to pass that event somewhere to do something. That event is still exists here. We're just not defining it as anything, so we don't care. Because we don't care about this on-click event. So now let's do the fetch. It's going to look a lot like this, right? So now I'm going to copy this code right here. Not flagged, or not checked, but what, flagged or flagged?
One lag.
Flag 1. And that's all I have to change, right? Because we're still passing the row and column. We still want this current game ID. So yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So we come over here. I'm going to flag that one. F for flag. Flag this one. Flag this one.
That's what we have.
Yeah. Ah, I exploded.
Okay, so now you're doing something, but we're seeing the output of that, right?
Yeah.
What if we wanted to provide an actual menu? Is there other steps that needs to be done?
What do you mean, like actually, like?
So if you don't do anything, you get the default
Yeah, we get.
behavior, which is a menu.
Yep.
But if I wanted to create my own menu, then I would have to sort of create a menu and then say, launch this one.
Yeah. So let's kind of go down this thought process for a while. So if we wanted to create our own menu, how would we do that? Thoughts. So we need to stop the default one, right? Then we want to show our new one. What is our new menu? It would be a component, which is just a div or a section or something like that. Then we have our own what? Yeah, and then inside of that we'd have a list of some sort that has buttons or actions inside of it. And then we would place it on the screen. We'd only show it whenever the user would right click. And we'd show it at the current mouse position. So you can get the current mouse position because on this event item, let's console log this event out. There is a page X and page Y, so you can get the actual screen X, screen Y. There we go. There it is. So you can get the actual position on the screen where it's getting clicked. So you'd use that to set CSS values to say, here, my absolute position for my menu div that contains the list and the actions. It shows up right wherever I clicked it. So at that point, you're not overriding the menu. You're just saying, stop old menu, put my div here instead.
Would said menu go away on its own if you just clicked away from it based on the fact
You'd have
that it's
to
a
do that.
non-context menu?
You have
Or would you have to display none?
You have to display none.
Okay.
So you'd have to write an enclave event for the entire page, probably. That if you click anywhere that's not inside the menu, then
You could pass a boolean through.
it could, as you can tell, it starts to get a bit hairy, right? Because now we care, like, what's it look like? What if I right-click down here and show it down here? Like,
It won't go all the way.
yeah. So, like, creating your own context menu is not true.
Right,
You have to do everything that the context menu does. So it's the showing, that's the hiding, that's the positioning, that's the angling, that's the scrolling. I'm sure we've all seen it scroll sometimes. So yeah.
How many of these have you actually used?
What do you mean?
Events,
Oh, how many events?
methods, and attributes.
So prevent defaults, one that comes up a lot. I've used, of course, event.value.target.value. I use that a lot. Page X and page Y and screen X, screen Y I've used so that I have to target like where you're clicking or where you're scrolling. I handled my own auto scroller, auto pagination like Facebook has, where like as soon as you start scrolling, and then you get to the bottom, it'll load more automatically. If you have done that, that was a mistake.
so.
You mean the lesson?
Yes, that was a lesson. That was a lesson to use other people's packages.
So talking about
That's pretty much the big ones on top of
target, one of my challenges this weekend was trying to find documentation that accurately told me about the function that I was trying to use or which one I should use. So like, event, and then I was looking, okay, target, so, because I seen, target, selected target, and then what other options, I could daisy chain on that thing. So I was very confusing to try to go someplace that says, okay, this item, these are your options, and if you click on this, it'll give you more options. So it's sort of the documentation sort of walked you through what I could do with that particular object.
MDN is usually a really good start.
Really, because I found that not as helpful as I thought it should be.
So what's one thing that you couldn't find? Let's find it together.
Some places I saw, target value, and then others said text. So I don't know what else is at the other end that I can choose.
So which event were you looking at?
Event. I was looking at. I had a select,
Okay.
and I wanted to see, and I did it at. You had an option, and then there a value, and then there was the actual text.
Okay. So we have a select. All right. Our select. We had a select with a whole bunch of options, right? So down here, examples. Yep. Events fired by select, change, and input. So you were probably tying into the change event, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes, I'm change.
Yep. So I'm going to head there. Properties. So we're going to come back to this. So here's one example of what's going on. So event.target.value. So I selected strawberry ice cream. It came up in the alert. So, but your question is, like that's all fine and dandy, but like, how do we see what else is on that event? Well, here, its property says it inherits the properties from the event interface its parent. So that means that it inherits everything that's inside of this event. And this is where you have your bubbly for your properties. Here's all your properties that you could use. Here's all your methods. Then you can drill down in there.
Maybe it seemed that I was getting lost in the documentation, going from click to click to get to where I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as concise as I thought it should.
So but it's all there.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can flag, right? So flagging cells. And then we need to show a victory or failure message. So how would we do that?
Well, you have to check the state. So every time you click on something, the state change or sometimes changes, sometimes doesn't, to reflect playing,
Mm-hmm.
won or lost. New playing, won or lost. So you could do an if-then statement
All right. So an if-then statement somewhere. Where would that if-then statement be?
in your check event or function.
Okay. So up here. And what would this if statement be? Look like? So walk me through. Where should I start typing?
So it should be. You would just say if is playing, then you want to run that. So I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
If game or new game state dot state.
Equals playing.
Okay.
I think we need an and.
Do you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And then I just.
So I would have put the playing because either the last one or just keep going. The playing is like the
Yeah. The playing is so.
Oh, it should just be lost, right? So if you can just do lost there, then you can say display your lost message, and then else, then you set the new state.
Also, you win too.
Oh yeah,
How do you
or
win it?
when yeah, then it would. So we
How do you
So
we would get the whole.
I've never-
Okay, and when. See, I separated mine to
Wanna play?
lost messages, so I did two different ones.
We can separate it out.
Apparently not.
So I did I think I did it if else. I was trying to look.
You could do or one.
Yeah, I did it if else.
if help.
Yeah.
All right. So if we lost, what do you want to do? Plain English.
You lost.
All I did was just in my app.js, my top,
Yeah.
I made two H1s on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
H1 you won, the other H1 was you lost, and I displayed none of them.
Yeah. So over here you had H1. You won. H1 you lost.
And then I gave them a class name, winner, loser, whatever you want to call it.
Would you say this is the best way to do it?
I'm curious to see how y'all did it.
So, well, first one would be a dash, and or underscore or dash
What?
for hide winner, hide loser, with a space.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you do that?
I can do that. I can do
didn't know
that.
you could do that. Can you do that?
I can do that.
Well, I mean, can you do it with a space? Is my question.
So the space and the dash mean two different things. All right. So if we call back to our
Oh,
CSS
that's right.
syntax-
It's two different. It's hide and winner. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So now we took those two different classes that I said, and we're like, no, wait, let's make it one class. One class called hide winner, one class called hide
Now,
loser.
hold on.
So,
So
talk me through the next steps here.
So in my CSS, I just started off by making hide winner and hide loser display none.
Okay.
And so whenever, when I went back to Minesweeper, if there was winner conditions or loser conditions would kick in, then I would just change it from display none to display.
And
none
how
to
did you
display.
do? How did you change it?
You can just from your Minesweeper, you could just say document dot query selector dot style dot display equals flex.
Usually, you don't want to do that.
Okay.
Usually, once you're in React land, you really don't want to query the DOM because
Okay.
you can't trust what the DOM will look like. Because
Okay.
here we're using something. Because we're not actually direct. Even though it looks like we're interacting with the DOM directly, we're actually not.
Okay.
So it's like you could do it. Like technically it will work because yes, you know at the end of the day you're gonna have that,
Mhm.
but it's not trustworthy, and it's you're using React for a reason. So
Okay.
let's use React. Okay. So this approach is we can work out this for a little bit. We can kind of see because this is where we really jump the shark here is when we try to use the document.query selector. Just something to say, Chris?
Well, after we do this,
You sure?
because it's another way to do this. But
Okay.
We should probably do this first, and then
How would you do it?
I made the message a part of the state
Where?
in Minesweeper.js.
Okay, so the message part of the state over here in Minesweeper.js. So it was down here.
So what I had a method called display result,
All right.
and let's see here. And basically after every click, so in the click event handler,
Mhm.
it would call. Where is it? Sorry. It would call the display result, and then that would basically say that would set the state
Okay.
if the state was won or lost.
Okay. So I like that solution a bit better. Okay. So let's kind of work out with that. So you had a display message,
Display game result, yeah.
display game result. Result.
It wasn't an event handler, but we could call it twice in the on-click event.
So, and what did it take? Did it take anything?
No, it just used the state.
Okay. Ew, okay. So so in here, we would check. We'd move our if statement, right?
Yeah.
If this dot state dot game dot state equals lost, then this dot set state message equals womp you lost. Else this dot set state message booyah you won. Okay. Right? I mean,
Should we set a message up there in the top? Do an empty string to start.
we can. We probably should. We don't have to. It will still functionally work. But as we discussed last week,
Somebody behind you might not know where it came from.
All right, so now we have our message, and then down here we need to display it, right? Where will we display it?
Go put it
After
on
under
the
the
table.
board,
So under the table?
No, top of it.
either way.
Under the keyboard.
So I basically got the.
Oh, so it'll say plain at the top to begin with? Okay.
This dot state dot message, will it?
Well, no, because we don't set it, so it's not going to say anything.
So message,
It's going to say empty string to start.
new game board dot state. So this is an example where we're pulling out something from our JSON and putting it into our state into something else. Because now this will give us that message of
Play.
play. Or,
If we
even
didn't, it would just be
better,
empty string. You could just change the original one to play.
else if so if we lost, it'll say wonk you lost. If we won, it'll say boo you won. If we're still playing,
There.
yep,
Now, where is this being called? So is this
we
just
haven't
active?
called it yet.
Okay.
So we're not actually using this yet.
Okay.
So where would we call this?
Same place where you had your if else.
Right here?
Under, or it's,
Is it gonna be in component now?
Is it? It's gonna be up here. What?
It's under the render.
it's above.
So you take out the set state there, and then just.
Sorry, it's below the sunset.
Correct.
So below this.
Somewhere on the page.
Yes, I need to
Establish that.
call it in this class
It's gonna be in
somewhere.
your. It's gonna be in your then, but after your
Yeah,
this.
that looks right.
Does this look right?
Yeah.
Are we sure this looks right?
No,
No.
it looks right.
There's only one way to find it out.
Looks like.
That looks good to me.
Fail.
Oh, that's the other thing we have to fix. So what does this error message mean?
Yeah, we're in a div on top of everything.
Just wrap it in, close it, tag.
It's gonna mess up our
Just made
display.
a bigger div.
It's gotta be a div. Yeah.
That's alright.
It's a little split. Let's
Yeah, that's the easiest concern.
See, I told you just do the H1 on the outside.
So there is a different way to do that, and I kind of want to revisit that.
The
Um,
way I did.
yeah. Because that involves passing state and a function down into Minesweeper, and to activate so Minesweeper can act on the parent state, so we can set So we'll come back to that in about 10 minutes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Triple
Maybe.
check.
Yeah.
With Battleship,
It's like,
right?
whew, yeah, we'll put that in the battleship. So I'm playing here,
Still sweeping.
still sweeping,
Just hit a bump.
still sweeping, still sweeping,
There, come on, hit the bump.
it's still sweeping.
The bomb.
There we go. Womp, you lost.
Now you got to play it to make sure that the win message works.
I have a confession to make. I've never beaten Minesweeper. I never had the patience, and I only learned like last year what those numbers actually meant. It's like, oh, numbers, cool. Bloop, 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 bloop. This is just random clicking until I win something.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Mhm.
Well, I did play a lot when it came out. It was Solitaire, Minesweeper.
I was more of a solitary.
Games it?
I was a solitaire kid and a hearts. I
Pinball.
Hearts was really good.
pinball.
Pinball is good. Pinball.
But Pinball didn't came with Windows. It was Hearts, it was Minesweeper, it was
Pinball
Solitaire.
did eventually.
Pinball was Windows. Nope,
They just
XP.
wanna quit.
Oh, ME. No, me.
Windows.
XP, no.
We got rid of
Me.
Solitaire.
Windows Millennial Edition. ME. The version that everyone forgets because it was
Oh,
sweet.
it's $1 trillion.
Yeah,
That
already
already heard of that.
migrated.
V, what's up?
So you lost, right?
Yes.
Don't we now have to disable? Because if you click on any other thing, doesn't it keep going?
Yeah, I did not get that.
That's
Yep.
You have to disable the game board.
I didn't get a chance to try.
You're about to win.
Still sweet.
About to win the first Minesweeper game. Congratulations.
Nope. Still didn't win.
I still
Oh,
no,
oh,
it's at
One. One.
But it
Oh.
didn't show there.
It's not.
Because you said one
Did you
and I'll
put
win.
win or one?
I think this is a good thing that it's not working, but
Oh.
technically you didn't win.
Ta-da.
I technically didn't win.
Do it again.
Oh, well, come on. Where is it?
Two more to the right.
There we go. Oh yeah. But I can still keep playing. So now, how do we disable the board?
Want that disabled?
Board.disable. All right.
I didn't have to know it. It doesn't work like that.
What?
Click event, maybe that replay press. No, you can't do it.
No.
So that's what we talked about.
Reset button.
So we
Well, no,
reset
that's-
button. That's going to be step 2.
Yeah, you talked about the win message coming up as its own window, and then it having a reset button on it. That could reset the. What would we reset the?
Board.
I would just do another fetch for a new ID, maybe.
Yeah. That's what the reset button would have. It would be tie into that. We would abstract away our create game logic into a function, and we'd have a reset button that just calls that function.
But we want it so that it just takes the focus off of the board and puts it on
Right.
the new.
So we want to disable this handle so click, right?
Oh,
How do we do that?
we've done that.
So this isn't a true disable, like an event button. So we just want to stop that event from firing.
Right.
Now it does not have the e.prevent default because this is not the default behavior. This is our customized behavior. So what would we do here? We just want what?
So go to your if statements. You gotta do it in your.
It's where you call it and you have to disable it. If.
Down here. So I wouldn't put it here, but you're close because we want to say if something, don't run this function, right? So if we come back to this handle click, if this dot state
Okay.
dot game dot state equals lost, or this dot state dot game state equals 1, we want to do nothing, right? Remember, anytime we find ourselves in this kind of thing where we have like a do nothing clause, we want to invert it. So we'll wrap it in a not, and take this fetch.
Couldn't you just make it not equals?
I could have.
Okay, I I'm not familiar with wrapping it in a knot like that.
Yeah.
It takes some.
So-
I'm understanding what it does now, but I don't think we've ever seen that.
It's like a negative type thing.
Yeah, we wonder what a knot is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're just taking and say, hey, well, I want to take all this results and just do the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not true.
But you could just say, instead of that, you could just say, instead of triple equals, just non-equals. Could we do this?
So if I wanted to actually invert this statement, it would be. So not only do we have to do does not equals and does not equals, but we also have to switch this to a and.
Okay.
So while the game does not equal, while it's not lost and it's not won, we still want to play.
What do you think is more readable? In your opinion?
In my opinion,
I like that one better.
probably this one when it's all said and done. But really, like, ask me about it tomorrow, and I'll probably say the other one.
Arbitrary.
Yeah.
Just go against Lexi.
What?
Just go against Lexi.
I like that. So, Minesweeper. Let's see if this works. Let's see if we've won, if we lost. We've won. Still sweeping. Still sweeping. We lost. Click. So it's 12 o'clock. I know. Time flies when we're having fun. Do you want to add a reset button real fast?
Yes.
Don't feel like you have to stay. But this
What are we
shouldn't take
doing
long.
on two?
What?
What are we reviewing on two?
Review it too. Probably more questions with this.
Do the reset button then.
We can do the reset button there.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll be here, that's fine.
Yeah. Sounds good. So homework will be out momentarily. Review it too. We'll continue to build this
It's
out.
just blog, right? Okay, so we probably.
Yeah, how about the blog? We want to
It's your homework is to blog and then to work on this some more
Okay. Perfect.
or other old assignments.